off if I can.
Okay.
There we go.
What's going on?
Okay, there we go.
Are the bells?
Yes, I mean, I'll still know when people come in, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So we ready? Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the November 9th, 2024 Columbus, Ohio chapter meeting for the American Council of the Blind of Ohio. I am Janae Miller, the president. Welcome, everybody. Can we get a OH?
I.
They're playing Purdue today. That should be easy. First thing I like to do is take attendance first and foremost. So we're going to start with those who are on Zoom. So Shawn, if you can read off who's in Zoom for attendance, please.
I can do that. Would you like to do the recording disclaimer first, though?
There's a disclaimer.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Here's our disclaimer. This meeting is being recorded to be put on our YouTube channel. So anything that you say will be put out into the public domain, public space for public consumption. So please be mindful of what you are saying because the world will hear it. That is our disclaimer. This meeting is being recorded. Thank you.
Okay, so a couple of things. Lately now you have to press F6 to get to the button that says this meeting is being recorded, and you need to choose OK. If you do not do that, you will not be able to speak or unmute. Most folks that are in here, I think, know this. One other point, Monica made me aware that on some, but not all devices that are mobile devices using the app, normally Zoom raise hand is under interactions, but on some devices, we've noticed it lately being on the main screen. There seems to be very little rhyme or reason as to which it may be model of phone, but we don't know. So take a moment to very carefully peek around and see if you can find it, because we will need that for voting later in the elections and for the Christmas dinner. With all of that said, hang on, I've got one more person.
Hey, Shawn, let's
Yes.
remind people too what the raise hand function is.
Okay.
People forget.
Okay. So raising your hand will allow me to know that you want to speak, and it will become integral for voting later. On the PC, to do this quickly is Alt Y, as in yes. To do this on the phone is *9. Of course, 9 is also where the letter Y is on your phone. On the mobile devices, it is under either more actions, or it might just be hanging out on your main screen. Option Y on the Mac, and I think I have got everybody.
Covered it all.
So we have in the meeting right now, we have myself, Denise Bauman, Katie Frederick, Monica Williard, Vicky Prayan, and I believe 6929 is Gail Baldwin.
Yes.
And Kathy Withman. And that concludes the list. And I will see if Zoom will let me rename Gail or if it will give me trouble. But I will mute and take care of that over here.
Okay, so now we're going to take attendance in the room. So we'll have the mic go around. So Janae Miller's here.
Lee Tucker's here.
And Lee's going to bring the mic around.
Ed Snively. Angela Brown. Perry Ling. Margo Muse. John Hill.
Dustin Grandstaff.
Julie Russell. Mike Russell.
Mary Carabinas. Rachel, let's go. Juanita Meyer. Shawn Spillane.
Drew Andrews.
That is it for now.
That everybody? No. That's it? Okay.
Well, Shawn's here, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you, everyone.
I
Next,
do have Karen has also come
Karen,
in
okay.
Zoom.
What's Karen's last?
I'm assuming it might, well, let me let them explain. I think I know who it is, but Karen, if you could unmute and let us know who you are. I believe I know who you are, but we need to know for sure. All right, let's go ahead and move on and we'll
Okay, we'll move
find a
on.
pause for her to do that.
Okay. Next thing on the agenda is, are there any corrections to the meeting minutes from last month's meeting? Any corrections?
Yeah, I have one little tiny item that I did send to you, Ed, which is in the, when you're we're listing the financial statement. There was something that you did a cut and paste on apparently, where it says a donation to ACB Ohio Indiana Convention of 500, which is followed by the phrase a donation of $50 for Thursday attendees, which is that shouldn't be there because that gets paid to the attendees later. Yeah, that wasn't the current charge. That was not in the financial statement.
Okay, any other corrections to the meeting minutes? Would someone like to, if I don't hear any responses, would someone like to please make a motion that we accept the meeting minutes?
Julie Russell.
Is there a second?
Karen Spry.
Ah, that helps. Okay, Karen. All right, we should give it to Karen.
Okay, so Julie Russell made the motion and who seconded it?
Karen Spry.
Karen Spry. Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. The motion has carried. Now, at this time, we will have the treasurer's report from Mr. Tucker.
So this is the, that was louder now. Okay. For the chapter financial report for November 8th, 2024 for the period of October 12th to November 8th. Checking ending balance is now $11,677.73, a decrease of $4,333.61. Deposits, memberships, $30, a void check of $45 comes back into our funds. And we received a charge card reward. Who knows? I didn't even know we were going to get that of $100. Expenses, yeah, it's kind of weird because it means you spend money, you get some money back. But I mean, it's part of the game, I guess. Anyway, expenses were the engagement was $110 to fund that. Charge card payment was recorded of $36.50, which was relative to the stamps bought back in September. ACB National Convention, another check got generated for $45. And then invested in a CD was $4,256. And then the AT&T charge that always is there, the $16.11. And a check went out to the Sunshine Committee for $8.60 for greeting cards. And it's a stipend that we did pay for the ACB Ohio Indiana Convention. That was $200. So that was $50 to 4 people each. No, $50 each to 4 people. So then the balance of outstanding checks currently is $253.60, and the one outstanding check was cashed at $45. In the charge card, we have an ending balance on the charge card of $1,125, which is $1,000 paid to the Rusty Bucket for our reservation, and $5 for Kroger cards at $25 each. And then, as I mentioned before, there was a payment made to the charge card of $36.50. People helping people, no change there. The balance in the account is $2,399.48. The savings account is reduced to $500.47, a decrease of $5,744 which is invested in the CD. And the aforementioned CD is $10,000. It matures on July 28th. And we have, at the moment, unreceived interest of $9.04. And the term we picked up on that is
I think it's 3.0. No, it's 9-month term.
7, actually.
7, actually? Okay.
Yeah, then it comes due on July 28th. And we had a choice. We could take a lower rate or a higher rate and sooner, and given that we had so much trouble getting the bank all together and that they kept giving us some other document we had to get. So we went for the longer term but lower rate. So. Yes. Yeah, so the Columbus Foundation, the estimated market value as of November 8th is $93,803.10. The gain since December 31st of $1,528.96. The spring grant was $5,658.47. Fall grant was $1,293.95. And of course, those grants are the bulk of our income. And to compare to last year in 2023, we received $6,400.50 from the Columbus Foundation. And the payout this year to date as engagement benefit is $850, of which some people actually benefited from that today. And that concludes the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Lee. Are there any questions for Lee regarding his report? Any questions in Zoom for Lee regarding his report?
There are currently no questions in Zoom.
Okay. I'd like to have a motion that we approve Lee's report as read. Is there a second? Mary Carabinas? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you all so much. Now we will move on to committee reports. I would like to start with the Sunshine Committee. Do you all have any news for us at all? Sunshine Committee people?
Okay, we have Kathy in Zoom, I believe. I believe she's the only member in attendance, if I recall correctly.
Nobody's here from the Sunshine Committee at all? I know Kathy's, she says she's here. Is she here?
Yes, Kathy is here. Your hand is raised. Feel free to unmute with *6 and fire away. *9 raised your hand, but *6 is to unmute.
While we're trying to get Kathy to get unmuted, anybody else from the Sunshine Committee? If not-
Okay, I think I got it now.
Okay,
You did.
go ahead.
This is Kathy. Mary sent out 3 greeting cards, and actually she sent out 4, but 3 of them had the $50 Kroger gift cards in them. One was sent to Troy Sullivan.
Okay.
Another was sent to Sandy Mullet, and the third was sent to Barbara, and at the moment I can't think of her last name.
I think it's
And
the quarter. Yeah. Go ahead.
so that's all I had. I thought Mary was going to be here, but is Gail there?
Gail Baldwin.
That's all
is
I
in the
had.
room.
I don't know if Gail has something to add.
Okay, Mary Carabinas is in the room and Gail Baldwin is in Zoom. So whichever one of them would like to, if you have anything to add.
That's.
Oh, wrong one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mary Highland. So if that's it, unless Gail is here and has something else to add, we'll move on to PHP.
Okay.
If, if you have something, she can raise her hand, but we'll move on to PHP. Denise, do you have any report for PHP?
Yeah, thanks to Lee for sending out the PHP forms to everyone, as well as the ACB Ohio Grant Program form. And also there was one inquiry from someone who would qualify as a participant in the program, but the request was for eviction notice coverage. So I intend to make a second attempt to get back to that person to make them aware of the services we could offer.
Okay.
And that completes the report.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I have a little extra to add to that. At
Sure,
the
go ahead, Lee.
Vision Loss Support Group meeting, there was a social worker named Carrie Preston from the OSU Havener Eye Institute and the Department of Ophthalmology and Visual Sciences, and I gave her a pack of 5 PHP forms. So and I tried to make her aware of the OSU matching grant program as well. So we may hear from them. I'm hopeful on these things. You never know. So.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lee. The Finance Committee has not had a meeting, so we don't have a report.
No, but I do want to declare an intention.
Okay.
The Finance Committee should meet after the year's expenditures are finalized, which is at the very tail end of December. Then there would be a Finance Committee meeting. And since by that time the Unity Committee should be in operation, we'll pretty much be attending only to financial matters, is my opinion anyway. So.
Okay. All right. So keep that in mind, Finance Committee, end of the year meeting. Sounds good. Okay. Next on the agenda, I would like to have a report from ACB Ohio.
So Michelle is in the room.
Needs a microphone.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say thanks again for the donation in support of the ACBO ACBI conference. It was a successful event. We had a van load from Columbus that went, and everybody seemed to have positive feedback about the event. And we had a great banquet. And one of the things that occurs at the banquet is we present awards to, deserving people.
Yes.
And one of those was our own Lee Tucker received
Let's give her a round of
the
applause.
Ambassador Award.
Yes.
Yay!
So I brought his plaque today to present.
Yes. Yay, clap for Lee.
Yeah.
Yes. Lee
Give it
does
up
a
for
lot
Lee.
for us.
Got all this braille stuff that I
All
don't
this
know how to
dot
do it.
language.
We'll tell you
Yeah.
what it says. You want to read it, Michelle or Lee? Read it.
It says American Council of the Blind of Ohio Ambassador Award for dedicated service to the American Council of the Blind of Ohio, presented to Lee Tucker, October 26, 2024. Thank you, Lee.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Lee,
Lee.
for all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All righty. Okay. Is that all for the ACB Ohio report, Miss Michelle?
Katie has a raised hand in Zoom, so she may have an addition.
Okay, go.
Madam
Yes, ma'am,
President.
Katie. Miss Fred.
I just wanted to say too, we also gave an award to Voice Corps for their work in the community for the work that they do. So recognizing Voice Corps, many of you obviously know Voice Corps radio reading service, and understand the great work that they do. And we have our monthly program on Voice Corps on the first Wednesday of the month, and we'll of course be having our monthly membership call the second Thursday of the month, which this month is November 14th, I believe. I don't have a calendar in front of me. But That one is going to be talking about apps. And then our December membership call to round out the end of the year is going to be trivia. So that's always a fun event. So again, email will go out about those events, but just wanted to put those out there.
You are correct on the date.
Yes, and then also the if you have anything for the Ohio Connection newsletter, the deadline is November 15th, which is Friday. So
Also, while you're there, Katie, we also want to thank you because you're stepping away from your role as president of ACB Ohio. So we want to also give Katie a round of applause for her work as
thank you,
as our
Janae.
president.
Thanks.
So
Thank you.
thank you, Katie, for all that you do. All right. Now that we've covered that, is there any old business that we need to address?
Would that be about the Christmas dinner?
Yes, that'd probably be Christmas dinner stuff. Yes.
Pardon me for clanging the microphone.
Okay.
All right.
Christmas dinner.
Christmas dinner. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Russell goes to paper. So to cover the basics, the Christmas dinner is on December 14th from 2 to 5 p.m. at the Rusty Bucket in Clintonville. Address 4109 North High Street, 43214. Phone 614-261-0385. It'll be in the patio, as I called it here, a delightful heated area where you can hear all the COTA buses going by. And the seating will be limited to 50. And usually we recruit or put a lasso around Gail Baldwin or something like that. So I'll be sending an email out about how you have to sign up for it, because 50 means 50s. There's not room for any more. And
so first come, first serve when you reserve.
Yes, and that's for chapter members and the visually impaired people from the Central Ohio area. So that means Franklin County and the 6 surrounding counties, plus 1 sighted person per group. So I think that does cover that. Now, the menu is the other thing up for discussion here. Well, no, there's more, but I'll cover the other parts of the menu first. There are 3 starter items that we get, and that's period. That's what they are. I think they're a Caesar salad and a simple salad and a crock of soup, but I'm not red hot sure about all that. The choice of the 3 desserts, that's what they are. It's a sticky bun and bread pudding with New York cheesecake, strawberry, whipped cream, and that is supposed to be gluten-free, and chocolate icebox cake, vanilla bean ice cream, and powdered sugar. So that should be enough calories. Yeah. Now, in order for the restaurant to know how much food to order, have a good idea which foods to order, that's why we need to select the main dishes ahead of time. And so there'll be 4 main dishes that we can choose from, unless you have a special need, like, say, gluten-free or low sodium or vegetarian. There's not much in the way you can do for vegetarian because they don't have like tofu, but there is something called the imposter burger, which is a bean thingy, and you can have a solid prepared, which would maybe float your boat. Vegetarian is maybe a little hard, I'm not sure. But they'll do all they can to accommodate you, and you can tell your server that kind of thing, and they'll work it out for you. So on the main dishes, though, is what our choices are today. And so I tried to set it up so there's like beef, chicken, fish. That's how I tried to set this up. Because otherwise the voting for it gets way out of hand. So, and since I was a meatitarian at first, like when I set up the initial menu, I had 2 beef items, so that probably is not what we ought to be doing. So there's 3 choices, and then there's a chicken Parmesan, which is, that's standing in for the main chicken thing, but we'll see. So the 2 choices I'd like, the first choice, I set it up in pairs. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be clear. So I have three things to vote on, which are in pairs. There's the burger item, which is basically the best flippin' burger. So that's your beef thing, or a buffalo chicken sandwich. That would be the first set. The second set is the meatloaf, which is green bean, mashed potato, and mushrooms, or beef stroganoff. And the third thing would be blackened salmon salad or soy glazed salmon. Say again? I will repeat all of what I just said.
Not the beef burger and buffalo chicken, but what you just said.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's a choice between the meatloaf or beef stroganoff. Yeah. And then there's a choice between a blackened salmon salad or a soy glazed salmon with sticky rice. So with those considerations in mind, I can hear the clock ticking here. Let's see, people thinking. I can see wheels turning. Yes, yes.
So,
Stumbling, rumbling.
so here's a question. Let's try it this way. So based on what Lee is saying, I just want people to raise their hand, whether you're in Zoom or in the room, and I just want a couple people to share your thoughts on the choices, just so we can kind of hear out loud what people are thinking. And then we'll actually kind of vote. But I just want to have a little discussion just so people kind of can understand and we can know where everybody's head is going. Does anybody want to share how they feel about the choices that we have based on what the restaurant's providing?
I just want to say that the Rusty Bucket used to be like one of my aunt's favorite restaurants. We went to the one in Bexley, but I mean, I'm sure the menus are all the same. And for those of you who have not been there, you're not going to go wrong. I mean, I haven't ever had anything bad from there, and I like to try a variety of things, so I'll get something different every time. So the choices sound really good, and I think the variety from poultry to fish to beef sounds good, plus the salad, of course. So yeah, I don't think you're going to go wrong, and I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed with what they get from there.
Thank you, Angela. That's some good comforting comments. I'll take one or two more, then we can kind of vote. Anybody on Zoom have any concerns or questions or comments about the food at Rusty Bucket on Zoom?
I don't see any hands at the moment, but we'll give it a moment. Oh, I am so sorry.
Anybody else in the room? I think Ed.
Here, let me pass you.
They are all good choices.
They're all good choices? Okay. So,
Just a second.
what?
Just a second, Tanya. I apologize. I did not see you in the waiting room, but you are here now.
Hello, Tanya.
Do we want?
Hello, I was waiting for a while. I
I'm
finally
so
sent an
sorry.
email.
It didn't tell me, even though it was supposed to. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So Lee, let's see. So here's mine. Let's try this. Who is in favor? I wonder how we should do this.
Well, let's just do it like in the three pairs.
In the three pairs. Okay.
Okay.
Let's start with the first pair.
Okay. First pair is a burger, the best flippin' beef burger with kettle chips, coleslaw and fries, or buffalo chicken sandwich, panko crusted blue cheese, crumbles, lettuce, tomato, and mayo. So one or two. Let's say the beef thingy is one. So let's have a show of hands for number one.
Okay, the Zoom participants are trickling in here.
How many, do we have any hands in Zoom for the first choice of the
There's 9.
We have, 3 in Zoom.
3 in Zoom? Okay.
I can keep track of that, Lee, because it announces it to me. So don't worry about that.
Hands down.
All right.
All right. In Zoom, I will lower all hands.
So it looks like the first choice is going to be the beef burger.
Yep, seems like it, but
Seems
chicken,
like it.
just to give chicken a chance.
Okay, we gotta give chicken a chance.
Hang on just a moment. Hang on. All right, I'm gonna lower. Hang on, I'm gonna lower all hands in Zoom.
We're lowering all hands in Zoom, okay? And so chicken. So for those who like the chicken option, this is just the first set.
That's the first set there.
For those who like the chicken option, raise your hand.
We see 10 to 4. So hamburger wins.
The hamburger.
No, we don't have any hands in Zoom yet. You are free in Zoom to raise your hand.
Oh,
For the
recount.
1.
Okay.
Okay. At the moment, we only have one hand in Zoom.
We have one hand in Zoom?
That is correct.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Second.
Okay.
Second.
All Zoom. Hang on. Wait.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
We're waiting.
Okay.
All right.
All right. All Zoom hands are lowered.
Okay. Second choice is between the meatloaf, which is meatloaf, green beans, mashed potatoes, wild mushrooms, and demi-glace, whatever that is. Anyway, the French people know, I don't. Or beef stroganoff from pot roast, wild mushroom with cream, scallions, and sour cream. So meatloaf versus beef stroganoff.
So first, raise your hand if you want the meatloaf option. Same thing in Zoom. Raise your hand if you want the meatloaf option. Yep, this is one. This is your favorite one. We have three sets.
We'll look for a favorite out of each item. We're not placing an order.
No. So no, let's stop for a second and make sure everybody's clear. So the restaurant's giving us choices of things. We have to pick 4 main dish items. So we have 3 sets of 2 different dishes. So we're choosing which 4 we're going to have for our meal, because we had to have a set menu.
Because we're giving the restaurant a notion of what amount of food to order, of which dishes, but we don't have to say which one we actually want now. That is how we used to do it 3 or 4 years ago. But now the Rusty Bucket has apparently a better logistics system. So what can we say? Anyhow. So
So just so we're clear, the first option we chose for the first entree is the burger.
Yep.
So now we're choosing between the meatloaf or beef stroganoff.
Okay. So number 1 is meatloaf.
So if you want meatloaf, raise your hand.
Raise your hand if you're sure.
Okay. I see 8, Drew.
9, Mary. Just
9. Okay.
Sorry, I'm daydreaming.
Okay.
How many in Zoom, Shawn?
In Zoom, we have none
Okay.
at this point.
So I hope the Zoom people are keeping up.
They're keeping up.
None.
All right. So second choice, the beef stroganoff.
Beef stroganoff. You would like to have beef stroganoff as one of our menu choices. Raise your hand in the room and on Zoom.
Oh, 7 in the room, counting Lee.
Okay.
And then Shawn, how many on Zoom?
Yeah, I'm only counting one in the room.
That's tight.
Ooh, that was a close vote.
So hang on, our Zoom is 2 additional.
2 in Zoom.
2 in Zoom.
Yeah.
So is that a tie?
That is a tie.
Yeah, tie.
Oh my, we'll come back to that one.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's go to the next set.
Okay. The second one is salmon choice. It is the blackened salmon salad, shaved fennel and Brussels sprouts, mixed greens, strawberries, avocado, goat cheese, candied pecans, honey vinaigrette, or soy glazed salmon, sticky rice, stir fry beans, toasted sesame seeds. Okay.
So if you're in favor of the salmon, the blackened salmon salad, raise your hand.
Seven in the room.
Mhm.
7 in the room.
And
Same thing in Zoom. If you're interested in the black salmon salad, it's one of our main dishes to choose from for the Christmas dinner, raise your hand.
Put your hands down now. We have 2 in Zoom.
Okay, 2 in Zoom. So that's 9.
A total of 9.
Okay,
Right.
so.
I can see this coming. So we have
The salmon glaze
the soy glazed salmon.
Soy glaze.
with the sticky rice and the
There you go. And everybody scream.
no, don't do that.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the room.
In Zoom, if you want the salmon glaze with the sticky rice, it's very yummy, I should say. I should tell you. Raise your hand.
We have 2. Let's go. We have another time.
Okay,
So I have a question here because I think I noticed somebody in Zoom voting for both sides. Is that correct?
You can't play both sides. You gotta take
Yeah, you got to pick just one.
Kamala or Trump. Pick one.
Leave it out, leave it out, leave it out. It's over, leave it out.
Yeah. Denise, can you get your hand down? Is that what's wrong?
So my confusion with this is, are we voting for first the salad and then next the salmon, or are we supposed if we
Both choices are salmon.
so you're okay.
Salmon salad or a salmon dinner plate.
Okay, so the way that it was phrased, the way that Janae phrased it, I was confused too. I thought we were voting for each of those 2 things. So I think the point of confusion is are we voting for the 2 of each item as a pair, or are we voting on them individually?
What? One or the other.
One or the other.
Yes.
Yes.
One per pair.
Yeah, I look, I'm not trying to make it confusing, but again, the restaurant doesn't have 4.
Lee, to answer your question, I thought that I was raising my hand and Shawn lowered them when he was finished counting.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry. So just
Got it.
again, I'll repeat just we can be clear. The restaurant has given us, we can pick 4 main, and so Lee has a list, and we're trying to decide out of the 8 or 6, which 4 will be our main dishes. That's what we're trying to do. And so we're putting in pairs to give you options. You want this one or this one. And we put them in the pair to try to make it easier. So I'm sorry for the confusion.
Well, we'll be doing that anyway. Yes.
Yeah, we'll be doing that anyway.
So salmon is supposed to be 2 dishes, one of which is salmon salad and the other of which is dinner plate with salmon. Number 1 is the salad.
All right. So
Okay, there are.
salad. 7. This is the black. Now this is choice 1. Black and salmon. 7 in the room.
So the 2 people in Zoom, is that what you are voting for? Are those 2? Or the salmon salad? Is that what your 2 hands are? I believe that is the case.
The answer is yes, Shawn, for Denise. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Denise.
Oh, and then I see 2 more hands.
So you have 2 total or 3 total, Shawn?
I have 3 now.
2 total.
And how many was in the room?
7 in the room.
So that's 10.
Thank heavens, it's 10.
Okay, since they have put the total numbers together, I will lower all hands in Zoom. Please do not raise them until
All right, so that is,
requested.
so the soy, then now the soy dinner plate, the soy glazed salmon sticky rice.
Who prefers the soy glazed salmon? Raise your hands. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Soy glazed salmon. Well, better option.
Okay, we have. Okay. All right. At the moment, we have one hand in Zoom. Do we want to wait a little bit for more or go with that?
I'll say it one more time. Again, we're voting for the salmon glazed dinner dish. Do you want that to be one of our dinner choices?
Right. So I make it to be 10 to 8.
To flip from the salad to the soy glaze.
Let's not add more confusion.
No, babe.
No.
I'll beat you up, Julie.
No.
So we've got 8 in the room. And how many in Zoom?
Two in Zoom.
8 in the room and we counting Julie.
2 in Zoom.
For what? Julie, what are you voting for?
I didn't vote at all because I'm not a big fish.
Why are you voting now?
But then I'm not voting then.
Okay, so then we take her out.
Yeah, sound like the salad's going.
So they're saying the salad looks like it's going to win of those 2.
Okay.
All right, let me lower hands.
We need to go back and do the one that was in the middle.
Yeah. Back to the meatloaf, folks. All right. And we're clear that we're voting for a choice between meatloaf and beef stew. Right. All right. So those in favor of meatloaf, raise your hand.
Wow.
Would you? You got 10 that time, yeah. And on Zoomy, we have, I think.
We have 0. We do not have any hands.
Voting for? Okay. All right. Yes.
That's coming next.
Now.
Oh, stroganoff, raise your hand, beef stroganoff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6. 6 in the room. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, and then
Okay, for those in Zoom, beef stroganoff. Anybody?
there is one currently. There is a second. You still have some time in Zoom to vote. Because we have to 2.
Yeah. Yep. So the meatloaf has it. Yeah.
The meatloaf. Okay.
All right.
So sound like we have the salmon salad, the meatloaf, and the burger. Okay.
Okay. Chicken parmesan.
And the chicken parmesan, which I will not be eating.
Okay.
All right.
Now I know why the Honeckers didn't want to ever do this job again.
For Zoom, could you repeat the choices that won, please?
Yes, the choices again will be the
ones that
burger, the beef burger with the kettle chips. We did the second choice will be the meatloaf with the green beans and mashed potatoes. And the last choice would be the blackened salmon salad.
Okay. And then the chicken parmesan as well. That was the 4th.
Correct.
Okay, so those are the 4 things that won. Okay.
A chicken, a fish. Yeah. Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. Yeah, the starters are standard. So you don't get to
So
choose.
those don't need voted on.
Yeah. And same thing for desserts. They're standard. And then adult beverages are on you. We're not covering those. Okay. All right. So thank you, everybody. Now, now we have that taken care of. Who is here from the, let's see. Do we have any new business? And then we'll do the elections. Do we have any new business? Any new
Hang
business?
on. Hang on just a second. My Zoom is stuck. Okay, good. Now my list of Zoom is letting me move. That's better.
If not hearing anything regarding any new business, we will now move into elections. Are the people here from the nominating committee?
Gail is in Zoom. Angela is here. Erwin is not in either place, I don't think.
Gail, are you able to unmute?
Yes,
There she is.
I'm here.
Hi, Gail. You ready to do elections?
No, I thought Erwin was going to do them. Okay, you're going to have to hold my hand through the presentation.
Okay. And Erwin's not here, unfortunately, so we'll have to.
And
Yeah.
keep us on the straight and narrow.
Vicky, do you mind assisting, dear heart?
She was here.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, we had, excuse me, board position and president and secretary. No, yeah, secretary.
Yep, that's correct.
Now, what order do I do them in?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. All right. We'll do secretary. And we have Ed agreeing to continue. So now we do nominations from the floor.
I think, don't we have to read the whole slate first?
We have to read the slate first.
Oh, all of it.
Yeah,
Oh.
you read all of it first.
Okay, sorry.
Present it first, and then you can choose the direction you want to go for voting. So.
Okay. All right. For president, we have, excuse me, we have Janae. For secretary, we have Ed Snively continuing. And for the board positions, we have Shawn and Melody agreeing to continue.
Let me jump in here and say one thing. We do have one board update. Troy Sullivan has resigned from the board. He sent me an email a couple days ago, so we do have now a free board position that kind of got thrown out there that we need to address as well.
Oh.
I think in our bylaws, it says that the president appoints somebody to complete a term.
Okay. I believe so too. So we'll address that as well. So let's take care of this part first.
Okay. All right.
Does the slate need to be approved?
Yes, it does. So someone like to make a motion that we, that the,
This is Shawn, I move.
Point of order, wasn't that done last month?
Yes.
Oh, it was. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Yep, thank you.
All right, then I'm wrong. That's okay.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
this is new for me.
Okay, so we're going to do the election now?
Yes.
All right. We can do president first, and that's Janae. And are there any nominations from the floor? Are there any nominations from the floor?
I see a hand.
Are there any?
There's a hand raised.
My understanding is that Erwin Hott accepted to be nominated. If I'm wrong, let me know. But if that is the case, I nominate Erwin Hott.
Yes, he has agreed if he was nominated. Okay.
Question, point of order. Does the person who being nominated, do they have to be present at the meeting?
See, I believe they have to be present at the meeting. Yeah.
Typically, this is Katie. If they're not on the slate, typically, it's good to have them, to at least accept the nomination. Gail did say that Erwin accepted, but he wasn't on the slate. So,
Wouldn't he?
Yeah, he couldn't be on the slate because he was part of the nominating committee.
right.
So I guess he had to be nominated from the floor.
But
No,
if
that's
he's not-
appropriate. I just
but
don't
if
know
he's not
how the
here-
chapter wants to proceed if he's not there.
Okay, Drew has a question.
He's not on the slate. Shouldn't he? And I'm not saying I don't take a word. That's not the point. He's not on the slate. So we just can't say he accepted the nomination. Wouldn't he need to be here to accept the nomination?
So let's divide that up into two. One is, according to Robert's Rules of Order, he couldn't be on the slate. It has to be nominated from the floor. Now, the second part, I don't have a clue about.
I believe, and I don't have my Robert's rules in front of me. I think, and I'm saying this from two perspectives. One, maybe because it's in Robert's rules, but two, just a position of ethically, I would think he needs to be present to accept that nomination.
Yeah, I would agree with Vicky.
Yeah, I agree too.
Mhm.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
Say that I was a part of the nominating committee, so Gail and Erwin and I, worked together and talked together several times, and he did say if he was nominated, he would definitely, run take the position if he won. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. But
Well, I
I
think that
but go
But
ahead.
I think since he isn't here, we don't
Yeah.
have that choice.
Right.
right.
I wouldn't feel comfortable voting for someone who's
Right.
not there to accept a
Yeah.
nomination
So
personally.
unless someone else is nominated from the floor, then the slated candidate is unopposed.
Yep. And therefore,
Elected.
Well,
I don't know what the
we still need to-
terminology is.
So we still need to, now that we've clarified that, I think we still need to call for nominations again.
Call
Now
for
that we
Yeah, one more. Yeah.
call for it
Are
twice.
there any nominations from the floor? Hearing none. Congratulations, Janae.
You
President,
need a motion?
I move the nominations be closed and Janae Miller be not elected president by acclamation.
I second that motion.
That's the one I was looking for.
So
All in favor?
Aye.
okay.
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks, everybody.
Okay, now we'll move to secretary.
Wait, hold on.
We have a-
And
Gail, hold on.
Okay. I talked to Janae for a while at after the dinner a couple months ago, and she would like to get more feedback, told what is expected of the president.
Well, point of order, we're not discussing that kind of
not
thing
doing that right now.
We're actually electing officers.
Okay, I just.
We'll do that another day. Hold on.
Okay, so
Doing
secretary is next, and Ed Snively is running for that. He said he would continue, and that was the only taker we had. So
had somebody else. Tanya said she'd be interested in running as well. She said at the
well, she wanted to know what the job duties were.
Okay.
And I don't believe she's here.
Yeah, she's here.
She is on Zoom.
Yeah, she's here.
I'm here, and this is my first year as a member, so I'm going to withdraw and consider maybe the board of directors if there's an opening.
So,
I apologize, Tanya. I didn't realize you were here.
yeah, she's here. So go ahead, Gail, with what you were doing, asking for doing your thing.
Okay. All right. So Ed's the only candidate. Are there any nominations from the floor? Any nominations from the floor?
There are no nominations.
Any nominations? Excuse me? Any nominations from the floor? Hearing none. Congratulations, Edward
Hang on,
again.
we need a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Gotta say, I hereby nominate, or whatever. At least that was what to say.
Yeah, I move the nomination to be closed and Ed Snively be elected secretary of the chapter by acclamation.
Correct. That's what needs to be said. If there's no one nominated.
This is Shawn, I second.
And Shawn seconds it. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Okay.
Good job.
Okay. Now the board position that is open due to the resignation of Troy.
I think by our bylaws,
You need to do the ones that are slated first, Gail, before you can move into
late first.
Suddenly vacated position.
Oh, okay. Even though they agreed to stay on, I still have to.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The two board positions that were up are going to be continued by Melody Holloway and Shawn Thiel. Do we vote on them separate?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor of Melody?
No, you got a call.
No, wait. Well, we got to do nominations. Nominate from the floor still, even though they're on the slate and they agreed to stay on. We got to do the same process.
Oh, I'm not doing this next year. Okay. Any nominations from the floor? Any nominations from the floor? Any nominations from the floor?
This is
Okay,
Katie.
we
I
need a
move.
motion.
Yeah, this is Katie. I move that we elect. Are we doing Melody or?
Yeah, Melody.
Yeah,
All right,
Holloway.
I
Yeah.
move that we close nominations and elect Melody Holloway by acclamation.
Tucker, I second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? All right,
Nay.
he's still on the board. All right.
Okay. The next board position is held by Shawn Thiel, and he has agreed to continue. So are there any nominations from the floor? Any nominations from the floor? Any nominations from the floor? Okay, we need a motion.
Mary Lynn just did.
You have the microphone?
Mary Lynn.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Okay.
That's because we need microphone.
A microphone is coming to her.
I move that nominations be closed.
And
Got to say the rest.
John Hill seconds it to be closed.
And we
Elect
Shawn
by
Shawn by
acclamation.
acclamation. So there.
Yeah.
All in
There we
favor,
go.
say
All
aye.
right. Congratulations, Shawn.
All opposed?
Thank you, Shawn. Thank you, Gail. So now
No problem.
a issue to discuss because Troy has resigned from his position of the board, and his would have been up for election next year.
Yeah.
And so we would need to see if
We do have a raised hand in Zoom.
yes.
Monica's hand is
Hi,
raised.
this is Monica Williard. I would like, when it's time to nominate the floor, to nominate Tanya.
You would like to nominate Tanya for the board position?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And now let me be clear, this is for just a one-year term.
Actually,
No.
if the president gets to appoint.
Oh, I
a
get your
person,
point,
we're-
yeah.
So
I keep forgetting that
what
part.
we can do.
We'll have a discussion about it.
Discussion.
Yeah, we'll have a discussion about
I
it.
mean, I don't know, there's no time frame specified, but about when you appoint a person, so.
Okay.
Well, it could be done now.
Yes, it could.
Let me think about it. So this just came.
Well, we need to know if Tanya would accept it, right?
Let's let Janae handle that.
Let me handle it.
It's
It
impressive.
literally just happened.
Okay.
Job because that's what the bylaw says.
So, yeah, let me think about it. Let me talk to Tanya as well because I know she's interested. But let me talk, and I know there's some
Okay
as well. So we'll.
And,
I'll
by
take
the way,
care
I
of
was
it.
confused about that too. So I read last. I mean, so welcome to my.
Yeah.
Okay, that concludes
So Lee has
the
just indicated that he was unsure about that until he read the bylaws. For some reason, I don't know if people aren't talking into that microphone properly, but we're missing a lot over Zoom of what is being said.
Not pointing at my lips is my problem.
Might want to use my microphone too. You know.
Or yours is siloning, so I had to cut you back.
Oh. Okay. So I'm going to think about it and talk to Tanya. And there's one other person I believe is interested. So you will get something in an email. But like I said, this literally happened Thursday night, Wednesday night, like in the last 48 hours. So.
Okay, that concludes the election then. Do I need a motion for that?
I don't believe so.
No, I don't think so.
No.
No.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to the Christmas dinner next month for everybody. And I've got some exciting ideas for next year as well. So would someone like to make a motion that
Well, actually,
Mm-hmm.
you remember the thing that we were suggesting that we were going to do about having a member moment, which we've never had time to do.
Oh,
but today I think we've got plenty of time to do a member moment.
do a member moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's
And
2:06.
I get to sit back and say nothing. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
And
This is a Lee Tucker thing. I'm going to sit back and say nothing.
well, not really, but I mean, like we've already had somebody asked to, to be on your
the member.
So.
Okay.
Julie.
Julie. Go back. I want you to say what you were starting to say earlier, but you can say it, but it wasn't really the right moment because we were in the middle of elections. So go ahead and share. No, it's okay. Seriously.
The thing is, we are, sorry,
ahead and-
we are a professional group and we are a very caring, loving group. Therefore, we need to be tender and kind to everybody. And our president, congratulations, would like for us to clue her in on what she is or is not doing right, instead of the maybe a little bit of gossip behind the back. I'm the same way. And I'm sure most of you guys are in here. You'd rather know what people think as opposed to the gossip. So, and again, we need to decide in maybe one of these meetings, what are some of the things that are appropriate and not appropriate? What are the things that we want to add to the group as advice on what needs to be done? We just need to have a time where we all talk about where we're going for the ACB in Columbus.
Anybody want to comment on what Julie shared? This is our member moment time.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, this is Gail. I agree with Julie. And I think the outgoing officers should help with the incoming new person. Maybe even have them side by side until their, election time is started.
A lot of organizations do that where the outgoing president very closely with the incoming president. A lot of organizations because it helps make sure that those who are coming in, because not everybody's going to be like the previous president. Everybody has their own different leadership style, and so it's always helpful because I'm new to being in leadership, like I think I've shared before, and so I'm trying to do right by the Columbus chapter and the organization because I believe in our mission, our vision, and I care about what happens to us as people who are blind and vision impaired. So I'm going to make some mistakes, and I would like to know if I'm making a mistake and give me suggestions of how to. And if I'm still not doing it right, walk beside me with that. We have to do that in life. We just have to, either professional or personal.
We have a comment on the floor.
That's the only way somebody's going to learn.
Yep. Yeah, because I know I present well, but there's still things I'm needing to learn about leadership, and I want to do well and do right by you guys.
We have a comment on the floor.
I think something that we should look at considering. I know that we don't have it currently, but again, this doesn't mean we can't think outside the box strategically just because we don't have it now. But I think in a couple years, if Janae decides she is no longer interested in running for president and a new president comes in, we should consider creating a past president position. I know there is a lot of organizations that do that where the quote unquote past president is kind of like an advisor for the current president, maybe a mentor. Just something to consider.
Good idea.
And
actually, our board has a past president position, and that person is not here today. But the issue there is that we never have board meetings. Almost never.
Almost never.
Now, one thing's Uncle Shawn, or also known as Patrick, who is currently enjoying the joys of a Purdue OSU football game. Hopefully it's joyful. But at the committee that he's calling the Unity Committee, as I understand it, one of their jobs would be to insert into the bylaws a list of duties for all the 4 officers: president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary. Because, as you know, one of the problems the organization has is the treasurer's doing a whole mass of work that,
Yes, you are.
Over time, almost, 90% or 80% of the pie has gone into the treasurer's pocket. And that ain't right, because that means people aren't getting the experience of doing the work that makes the chapter fun and enjoyable and useful. So the point of writing out what each position does is, one is to create institutional knowledge of that's what the officer does. And the second is that the person knows that that's what they're going to get into when they nominate themselves or ask to be considered for a certain position. So that's one of the things that would go in. I'm sure that there are other things that Shawn has his eye on, Uncle Shawn. Not
He's Uncle Shawn to
Shawn the
me.
Thiel, but the Uncle Shawn. God, you've converted me. Now I can't call him Patrick.
I'm sorry. You guys call him Patrick. I call him Uncle Shawn.
Okay, I'll shut up now. On you go, Drew.
I just want to piggyback off what Mrs. Russell said. Two key things here: participation and communication. It does absolutely positively no good to complain because it just creates division. At the end of the day, where do you want your chapter to be? Where do you want your state to be? Where do you want your organization to be? It is safe for me to assume that everybody here wants ACB to grow. There's nobody in this room that wants ACB to fight amongst itself and be stagnant. When we look around, we're lucky if we're at a third of what our chapter actually is. Okay? So one of the things that we have to do, we're small in numbers, so we need to be on the same team. We're not going to do everything perfectly. We're not going to all agree. Now, I am not in a leadership position, but I do something called get in where I fit in. I don't agree with half the stuff a lot of you guys say, but you don't hear that from me. I just figure out, okay, Lee, what do I do? Okay, Janae, what do I do? I'm going to assist Mary in any way that I can to help her become successful. Because at the end of the day, we all have the same goal. The other thing is participation. The people that are not here, some of us know those people. Some of us have phone numbers for those people. We're better together, and we're better when there's more of us.
I want to interject something so you know. Our membership population is mostly over the age of 55.
Understood. That you don't have to tell me that. I see it with my own eyes as one of the few sighted people in the building. But here's the beautiful thing about our population being mainly over 55. That's a lot of wisdom here. Okay? That's a lot of dedication. You take the Ed Snively's and the Lee Tuckers in the room. That's a whole heck of a lot of wisdom and dedication. Okay? We're fortunate to have everybody in this room as part, okay, of the ACB. Let's figure out a way for us to get all on the same page, like Julie said better than I did.
Anybody else have a comment? I want you guys to feel comfortable to share. Because I want this to continue to be a loving chapter. Because I'm a loving kind of person. Anybody in Zoom have a comment or want to share anything? This is our member moment.
This is Gail Baldwin, and I seem to remember that we were going to have a day for all the members to get together and voice concerns or ideas about what we.
That's kind of what this is right now. It's called the member moment. Yeah, what you're referring to is kind of what we're doing right now.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was going to be a separate.
No.
Okay.
It is something we're adding to the meeting so that the members have a chance to talk about things after we've taken care of all of the business.
Well, I think it's wonderful that our new member voiced that because he's right. We got to all be rowing in the same direction.
Well, just caring if some of us want to row in a different direction. I mean, there's having 100% agreement is not how human beings are made, but coming to a notion of what direction to pull in eventually, making the decision can be difficult, but it also has to get done. But expecting 100% agreement I don't think is reasonable, though.
That's true.
But being caring, like Julie said, being caring and nice to each other is, but also Writing criticism is also a good thing.
But it has to be constructive criticism.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes,
I hope
ma'am.
this is the right time to ask this. Tanya, what's going on with the art project? I was kind of interested in that when you were telling us about it, but I haven't heard anything more about it.
On the microphone, you have to actually point it at your face. I mean, it's
Well, I don't have any authority
learn to see.
or motion and vote by the chapter to move forward on anything like that. But what I said was that there are opportunities with two organizations in the state of Ohio, the Ohio Arts Council and Arts Possibilities, for us to develop a group of people who would be interested in creating and submitting some type of sculpted object, event, or product into the circulating museum exhibitions. And I said I would develop a design and form for that. And then the way it works is you submit an application, it will be juried, and then it circulates to 5 different museums in the state of Ohio. And then there's a price on it. They mark it up 30%, and then the proceeds would come back to us or to whomever we decided it should come back to. If we have a group of 4, if we sell something for $400, then they mark it up 30%. They would get the 30%, and we could also decide that each of us get $50 and 200 of it goes to the chapter. It's just an opportunity. And what I developed was a peekaboo clown. Get it? Peekaboo. Remember how you play peekaboo when you're a baby? And the peekaboo clown, I have a sketch of it in my portfolio because I'm a registered research and studio artist with the Ohio Arts Council, and I'm a retired special ed teacher. So I just have that experience, and I thought it would be a good thing to think about for next year. We would have to develop a committee, put something in writing, and then it would need to be submitted to the Ohio Arts Council by May 1st if we want funding. The deadline for Arts Possibility is November the 15th of this year, so we would be submitting it November 15th of next year, hopefully with any type of funding we would need from the Arts Council in July or August. And then I also suggested that to get support for the project, we involve the Ohio State University Art College, because that's where they have any and everything we need for space, sculpting, or supplies, including students who may or may not need some type of fieldwork experience. And I'm speaking from my experience as a graduate of Michigan State's Kresge Art College and the University of Cincinnati Art College. I've just lost so much vision over the years. I've spent hundreds of dollars on specific types of lenses to do any type of textile or sculpting art.
And I had said, I love the idea. And I said, if people are interested, they can reach out to you, Tanya, and we can, and we had to figure out a place where people can gather and work on the art project. I think it's a wonderful idea, and it's a good way for us to do a little fundraising activity that everybody can be involved in. So you don't necessarily need a motion to do that. That's something that you can do, just like we have a technology thing that Shawn has started doing on the 3rd Saturday. So if you want to do that and help raise money, that proceeds come back to the chapter so we can have some funds to do more programming, that will be, and maybe even keep that going when we do other art projects. You're happy to do that. That doesn't require a motion in my mind.
Does it require a motion to develop a committee?
Well, if you want to, let's see who's interested, and then we can come back and then talk about maybe turning that into a committee. Because we just
you have to make a committee, because I just can't run up to the people at Arts Possible and the Ohio Arts Council as Tanya Walker and say the Columbus Chapter of the Blind. And I have to have, we as a committee, and we may have to, I have a restricted driver's license. We may have to go as a group in and out of some places, because that's what works. That's what's most powerful. If you go in and out of places in pairs or in groups.
Let's see who's interested first,
Right.
So it just sounds like she's one person that's interested. So let's give people time. You don't have to say today unless you want to. If you're interested in doing this, I think it's a great idea. And it's something that I feel like, based on what Tanya has explained, we all can help out with, that doesn't impede where we are in our abilities.
And Tanya, if it would help you to have the chapter Zoom account and
You can-
use that to create a meeting for
Correct.
interested people.
Yes.
It is for everybody in the
To
chapter to
use.
use. The only
Correct.
restriction is that it can only be one meeting at a time. So I could forward you the codes for that anytime if you want them.
Well, can we put in our minutes who's interested so I'll know how many are interested? I was hoping to get 4 people.
Well, we
But I would be number 5.
So, like I said, you can say it now. You can reach out to Tanya separately, or you can let me know, because I may jump in and help myself because I love art. So,
And I would love some feedback on the concept of a clown. See, a clown is very, very simple. There's eyes, there's noses. We can do it with touch. We can do it a variety of different ways. There's things we could do with hair that are very tactile oriented.
But thank you, Angel, for even bringing that up. But definitely, I think it's a wonderful idea. It's even something that I even think it's something worth even talking to the vision loss support group about, only because that will give people who are in that transition space something to kind of do, and maybe even help them come over here to be chapter members too. That's another way to pull them in. That's just me thinking out loud as an idea.
So we're going to just include some names in our minutes. Anybody who's interested?
Okay. You need,
If they want
if you want to let Tanya know what's going on in the room, Andrew, then you will need a microphone in order to do that.
Everything's recorded.
If you want to let her know.
So
I'm going to pass the mic to the first interested member.
Hi, yeah. Yeah, this is Angela Brown, and I'm definitely interested, Tanya.
Well, thank you, Angela. We'll put Angela Brown name. That's number 1.
Drew Andrews, I'm interested.
Okay, number 2.
You have me, of course.
Okay, Janae, number 3.
Nobody knows who I am. Okay.
And I think her name was Karen. She said she was familiar with Arts Possible.
Somebody else is getting a mic, I think.
Oh, she sends out emails. Or is it Katie? Katie, are you familiar with Arts Possible?
Katie's no longer in Zoom.
She's left the meeting, I believe.
I think Katie's the one who told me she knew a little bit about Arts Possible.
Well, we like I said, let people think about it, and if somebody else is interested, we'll have them reach out to me or to you. Okay.
Okay, we've got till May to submit a proposal, so we don't have to rush.
Hi. It's Tanya. If no one else has anything,
Shawn.
Yeah, I
forgot.
I had a comment, and I may cause some upset with this comment, but I'm going to say it anyway, and that is that in the past I have provided feedback to our president, and it has not been acted upon, or really, I feel, considered to the ability that it should. So I would like assurance from our president that feedback is going to be considered and acted upon in an organized way.
I will do better about that. It's something I'm learning how to do better at doing with everybody, not just you. Okay.
Okay, is he
All right.
talking about feedback for the art project?
No, I'm talking about
Oh.
general.
No, he's saying in general, and I'm getting better at that. So I'm working on it for everybody, not just you, Shawn. Everybody. So
Yes, I have notes from our former meeting, and Katie and Angela are in my notes for interest into the community art group. So thank you again, Angela, for speaking up.
All right, is there any other concerns? Okay,
Ed,
okay, Ed, you're saying something?
We have quite a number of people on the membership list, so I think we should find a way to reach out to those people from time to time.
Okay, this is Dale Baldwin, and I've been calling people on the list for quite a few years, and I will continue that. So I am reaching out in that, way.
Ed said that he found that a lot of people just don't respond. Get yourself, Ed.
I have found that some people never respond. I leave phone messages, and often no response.
That is true, and I think you're going to have that. But there was one member on the list that has been a member forever. And after about 4 or 5 calls for me, he started answering the phone, and we have a little talk and how you doing, and he's 90 years old.
Wow.
And he's one of the people that started ACB with Jackie Giles. So, and I noticed when I went through the list, there's a lot of well, I don't know about a lot, but there's several disconnected phone numbers.
And
so
since the membership sign-up sheets are going out on Tuesday, probably.
Okay, maybe you'll get new phone numbers then.
One of the things that we've got that's got to be said in separate emails, not that everybody gets email, is that if your address has changed, you all actually fill out the field that says a new address. And if the telephone number have changed sometime in the last couple of years, there's high probability we don't actually know what your telephone number is. And then there's a sheet where they're asking for the grant money things, the race and sexual preference. So anyhow, there's more stuff on that sheet of paper that actually needs to be filled out, or at your option. If you don't want to tell us, that's up to you. But I mean, if you want to keep your address secret from us, we won't know where to find you. But we kind of like to know where to find you. So so please fill that stuff out, or you can, at your option, go to ACB Ohio and sign up there.
And one last thing, and then we're going to wrap it up. ACB Ohio.
We do have a question in Zoom.
Okay. Go ahead. I'll take the question, and I want to say this last thing. We can wrap it up.
Mary too.
Okay. Let's do Zoom and then Mary, then we'll wrap it up.
Monica, your hand is raised.
Go ahead, Monica.
Monica, your hand's up.
Yeah, she knows.
Well,
do we want to take Mary and then come back?
Mary, I'm gonna say.
All right. It kind of sounds like some of the people, if you haven't heard from them for a while, could it be that they've deceased or just not available to even let us know how they are. So is it possible to put on their next of kin so that in case something happens to a member, the next of kin can reply or let us know?
That's something I can ask. I don't know if we can do that. I have to ask Michelle and Katie that question. I'm not sure. That's a good idea though. But I'm not sure if we're allowed. I don't see what's wrong with it, but I just have to ask. But that's a good question. And I was going to say,
seems somewhat invasive.
Huh? What'd you say?
Somewhat invasive would be my personal opinion.
Yeah.
That's more knowledge than
yeah.
I would want people to have.
Did Monica ever get off, able to unmute?
And the other thing is I do keep track of deceased and people that have not responded in like 6 years, so we ignore them. So I do keep track of that in the chapter records.
Hey, Shawn, was Monica able to ever to unmute?
I don't. It doesn't.
It's non-responsive.
Okay, she's temporarily, like, I've just seen her disappear from the list. Let me see what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reach out and see if she's just reconnecting. Hang on a second.
Well, I'll tell about the contest while you're doing that. So if you guys haven't heard, ACB Ohio is having a contest. So if you register, renew your membership with the organization, with ACB Ohio, before January 15th, your name will go into a drawing. And if you are picked, you will get your 2026 membership for free. But you have to renew before January 15th, which is 1 month before the end of the renew period, which is February 15th. And that's the contest that ACB Ohio is doing. And I think there's a gift card maybe as well, but I know you do get your 2026 membership for free.
Mary Lynn?
You can go down.
Does that count only if you register through the state, or does it count if you register at your local chapter? And of course, part of that goes to the state.
Yeah, I want to say it's either way, I believe. Yeah. I'm trying to remember myself. I don't have my notes in front of me. It's either way. So, but as long as you do it before January 15th, you'll go into the drawing. So that's being put on by the membership committee through ACB Ohio.
Okay, maybe.
Hey, I just want to check on Monica real quick.
Monica is trying to reconnect. She was disconnected.
Okay. I want to give her a chance to say what she wants to say, then we can.
There she is in the waiting room.
Okay.
Jaws has stopped telling me when people come up in the waiting room, so I really apologize. All right, Monica, you're here. And I don't know if you'll have to accept it being recorded again.
I am so sorry. I couldn't get it to accept that it was recording. I just have a very quick question. At least I hope it is. I'm a new member, fairly, 2 months, and you guys sounded really surprised that I would nominate someone for a board position. Is there something wrong with the board that I should know about? Is it something that's never used? Or I guess I feel like that I was out of order, not so much in making a nomination, but for the board, which I thought would be important.
Well, the way it works is, for one, we weren't expecting for the board position to become open, number one. Number two, so every even year, the president and the secretary is up for reelection in 2 board positions. We just happened to have this one that came open because someone resigned. And then next year, which is the odd year, we have the vice president and treasurer in the other 3 board positions. So it was kind of.
Well, then the bylaws, you don't really, I don't know what that came from. That the president is able to appoint somebody to complete a vacant board
position.
So that's not part of the election in November. It's something the president has in their power to do. And that's why the nomination, you can volunteer for a board position or ask somebody to say like, well, okay, why don't you do it? But this particular board position that was vacated by Troy Sullivan is something that Janae will appoint someone to. So that may be what you're referring to. I hope that wasn't.
Was that what you're referring to, Monica?
Did we lose her
Did
again?
we lose her again?
She's still here.
I'm sorry. I was actually more surprised, Janae, by your tone of voice. Like, say that instead of I served a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it was a peanut butter and Play-Doh sandwich. So I thought perhaps it wasn't it, because I understood once Lee explained it about that it was an appointment. I just didn't understand why it was a surprise for the board. That's all. Maybe I'm overreacting, but sometimes you try to use someone's tone of voice to figure out where the problem is with what you said.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I actually can't understand anything you said, Monica.
She said it was my tone of voice she was concerned about. That's what she was saying.
I was concerned that I had stepped over a line that was not supposed to be stepped over. You know, one of those unwritten rules in a group that you don't know because they're unwritten.
Well, Monica, I appreciate your motion and I appreciate you nominating me for the board, sweetie. I just want you to know that.
Well, and I didn't intend to stir up trouble, and so that's why I was asking for clarification.
Let me say this, Monica, you didn't stir up trouble. It was like I said, it's a new thing that just happened, and maybe my tone came across because it's like I'm trying to navigate what's going on with the fact that this happened and how to proceed with that. So the tone wasn't purposely done to come at you a certain way at all. So if it sounded that way, I sincerely apologize. Okay?
It's fine. Like I said, you sounded surprised, not angry, but surprised. And so I thought I had made some sort of mistake, not you.
Yeah, and Monica, this is Lee. I apologize too for misunderstanding what you were talking about. And voice tone is hard. Many people are simply not conscious of their voice tone, or else they know how they can use their voice tone, but they're, we all have different personalities and haven't, but whatever issue is going on that day, or we're just having a good day. So I know voice tones happen. So.
And there was a surprise, Monica. The surprise was I switched. Originally, I was interested in being a secretary, but I'm having teeth extractions, unfortunately, that will blur and shadow out my vision as I adjust my insulin. So I would rather do the board position, which requires me not to do so much reading, writing, analyzing, or using narrator or Zoom text while they pull out my last few teeth.
Yes, I understand. Okay, I wanted to clear this up just so that we could all still communicate well, be friends at next meetings. And I wasn't making assumptions, and it turns out I did make an assumption. So
No,
I
it's okay,
apologize.
sweetie.
Thank you.
Janae and her excellence, and Janae and her naturally gusto self got a surprise because I didn't tell Janae I was interested in the board versus the secretary.
So we understand. Thank you, Monica, for asking the question. So I apologize. Okay. We're gonna end this. We've been talking. We haven't really officially even adjourned the meeting. So can we have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
I will make the motion that the meeting be adjourned.
I second Gail Baldwin.
Okay. So let's see. I'll let Lee have the motion. I'll let Tanya have the second. Said it at the same time Lee did. So all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed to staying, leaving, going? Okay, meeting's adjourned.
Tanya was affected by the Zoom delay is what happened.
And there's
Bye-bye.
Mainstream is arriving, folks.
All right. Okay, I'm going to.
Bye, Gordon.